So I want to take a look at this ESPN mock draft. We are now only one day away from the NFL draft. Tomorrow night it begins. I will be putting out my own mock draft tonight, probably just the first 2 rounds, so stay tuned for that one. But here I want to go over a selection made by Rob Demovsky, and it looks like in this mock draft, it was done by NFL Nation reporters on ESPN, so I believe it's the reporters for each specific team who cover them for ESPN made the selection. So this selection is made by Rob Demovsky, Packers ESPN reporter. And so when we take a look at this pick, at number 25, which we will know in about 24 hours, or maybe a little more than 24 hours, a little over a day, we have the Packers taking Cooper DeJean, cornerback from Iowa. Demovsky says this: could have gone with tackle Amarius Mims here since the Packers have moved on from David Bakhtiari and might want to eventually move Zach Tom to center, where they think he can be dominant. But DeJean is so versatile, he can play outside corner, inside at nickel, or perhaps even safety. The Packers want to give new defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley an influx of talent. And I think that we've all seen Cooper DeJean mock to the Packers a ton of times throughout this entire offseason. We've touched on it many different times. And part of me just wonders, because it's such a popular pick, it feels like the Packers, when they make these selections, the guys who are the most popular, typically the players who are the most popular picks in mock draft season, don't typically seem to end up on the Packers from, at least in my opinion, that's what we've seen in the past. Now, that could obviously change, and I think that the reason DeJean has been mocked to the Packers so many times because it does make lots of sense when you have a player who has the ability to play corner and safety. When you look at the Packers, they still have a need of having a second safety to pair there with Xavier McKinney. The fact that you could put DeJean there at safety with McKinney is intriguing, and then in the future, maybe you want to move DeJean to corner at some point. He can do that as well. You can sort of have more flexibility when it comes to injuries, which Gutekunst has talked about, finding these players who have that versatility. So that is why DeJean makes lots of sense here. I just have a hard time believing that he actually ends up on the Packers. Now, personally, I would love this selection. I think that taking a corner here / safety could be intriguing. You look at Cooper DeJean, interception machine. The Packers need more of that on this defense. There's no doubt about that. And when you look at offensive tackle, the Packers have been mocked lots of offensive tackles in the past during these mock drafts. And the thing is, I still just look at the fact that the Packers haven't taken one since 2011 in the first round. And when you're so good at something, I don't see why you stray away from it. Why, decide to take a tackle in round 1 when you've been so successful taking offensive linemen, after round 1. Why not spend a first-round pick on someone like a corner, edge rusher potentially, then instead of an offensive tackle? That's just my opinion with it. Now, maybe the Packers say, we're gonna go off what we typically do and decide to draft an offensive tackle. It reminds me back in the past when the big need that everyone saw for the Packers was wide receiver. And the question was, will they break their streak of like 20 plus years of, not taking a wide receiver round 1? They didn't do it. They didn't take a wide receiver round 1. So I'm just going to go off the pass and say Packers don't take offensive line round 1, even though technically it would make sense from a need standpoint, no doubt about that. But I just think corner makes more sense, edge rusher in round 1. And I will give you guys my pick tonight, who I believe the Packers will take in round 1. So stay tuned for that video. Turn on those post notifications. But thank you for watching. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys next time.